Okay. Beta. I'm gonna show y'all boys where I'm from, man. I'm from.
What it do? What the business is? It's that big boss hog. Boss dog can't poke through the door. Here to talk to us about fucking about soliloquy. Remember tough times, no lies, could be Purdue. And I was here. Caught him in the fight like me, matter. Peak game, man, for us one swing. Your boy been working like a slave. I'm tired. I'm sleepy. But who cares? We finna put in that work. Let's talk boxing. Shakur Stevenson. I thought he said that he don't need Gervonta Davis. Let's talk about it. Shakur Stevenson said previously, I don't need Gervonta Davis. He said, I don't need him. I'm gonna show you I don't need him. Right? These are the statements he made, not me. Right? But if you don't need Gervonta Davis, why are you still talking about him? Why are you at his fights? If you don't need Gervonta Davis, why are you allowing reporters to ask you about Gervonta Davis and you breaking down his fights and you talking about him and you fighting and all this other jumbo? This is stuff I be talking about, bro. These boys be doing all this talking and saying this and saying that, contradicting themselves. Right? You said you don't need him. That's what you said. You said, I don't need Tank. That's what you said. You said, I don't need him. And I'm going to keep repeating it. You said you don't need him. So due to the fact you said you don't need him, why are you talking about it? Shakur Stevenson got interviewed by Fight Hype and Fight Hub, whoever it is. Shout out to both of them. They asked him a question about Gervonta Davis. He asking all the questions. Oh yeah, Tank is who he is. We're not gonna, put no narratives and make it seem like his mind wasn't focused in that fight against Lamar Roach. He is who he is. Lamar Roach is a great fighter, and he helped me in preparation for the Oscar Valdez fight. I believe that's what he said. And Tank just is who he is. And I'm like, bro, you said you don't need him. Why are you talking about him? This what he should say. Hey, Shakur Stevenson, what do you feel about Gervonta Davis? I'm not here to talk about Gervonta Davis. Ask me another question about something else. I'm not worried about Gervonta Davis. I told y'all I don't need him, so it's nothing to talk about. Next question. That's how you answer that question. Point blank, period. If you don't need him, why are you letting these dudes ask you questions about him? Then you showing up to his fights. Then you on Twitter talking about it. Bro, all these dudes, even Keyshawn. Oh man, I don't need him. I don't need Gervonta Davis to, make a legacy for myself. Okay, cool. So why are you talking about him? If you don't need him, why are you talking about him? I'll tell you why. I got the answers. I got the answers to the test. The reason why they talking about because they know they need him. Especially Shakur. Keyshawn's still young in his career where he can make some of himself. Shakur need a Tank to solidify. He know that, right? So he coming out and saying he don't need Tank, right? But he need that fight. He need a Tank Davis to solidify himself. Other than that, smoke and mirrors. It's a whole lot of nothing. You know what I'm saying? We just keep it 1,000. Just like Terrence Crawford said, I don't need Errol Spence. This before he beat Errol Spence. He was saying, I don't need Errol. I don't need him. I want to fight him, but I don't need him. This man still talking about Errol to this day. And he beat Errol. This is the crazy thing about both of them boys. You know what I mean? It's like Terrence Crawford took out a floppy disk or the microchip, took it out of his body, put it in Shakur's body. Pause. Say this. Talk like this. Say these things. I'm telling you. It's going to leave them befuddled. Bro, why are you... What sense does it make? You said you don't need him. You don't need Tank. So why are you still talking about Tank? That's the question I got for both of them. You don't need them. So why talk about them? Why even allow the media to ask you questions about him? You don't need him. But you see how they use his name to stay relevant in this boxing game? See, boys think they want to pee on you like R. Kelly, pause, and tell you it's rain. It's raining out here. That's pee. That's pee. What I'm saying is bull jive. You need Tank. Both of y'all need him. Y'all know Tank, the hottest thing in boxing right now. Pause. His name, right? He up there with Canelo as far as the faces of boxing, right? And I'm not talking about just fighting-wise. I'm just talking about popularity-wise, okay? Because Canelo ain't really living up to the standard, if you ask me. You know, Tank had a poor performance, which ain't living up to the standard. You know what I mean? So, like I said before, in popularity, they're the face of boxing in popularity. In my opinion, currently, we don't really have a face of boxing, right? But popularity-wise, Canelo and Gervonta Davis are the faces of boxing because of the fans, you know what I mean? The numbers that they do, you know what I mean? The money that they generate, you know what I mean? They're not, nobody else is putting up those numbers like those two fighters. That's just what it is. But it's like Shakur, I don't need Tank. I mean, I don't need him. You know what I mean? I don't need Tank. You know, I don't need him. You know, I can make my career without him. No, you can't. You need him. Shakur versus Teofimo Lopez will do okay. Shakur versus Ryan Garcia will do all right. Tank versus Shakur will do better than all those fights. Tank versus Keyshawn will do better than all the fights. Now, like I told you, the only thing with Keyshawn is he got more upside. He's still young in his career. You know what I'm saying? And he's more exciting than Shakur. That's why I feel like he's better than Shakur right now, in my opinion. But y'all say y'all don't need him. So if you don't need him, why talk about him? Every time I cut on YouTube and it's an interview with Shakur, Gervonta Tank Davis is brought up. Every time. He get interviewed, Tank come up. When they interview Tank, Shakur come up. But Tank be shutting that down. He be like, bro, why are we talking about him? I'm finna fight somebody else. I'm fighting him. Why are we talking about Shakur? Like what has he done for me to be talking about him? And I'm like, he got a valid point. I mean, what has he done? You know what I mean? And Tank been saying this. There's always going to be somebody else. When I get done with him, they're going to find somebody else to bring to the forefront. He not lying. We keep it 1,000. When he get done with Shakur, if he beat Shakur, he fight Shakur, he beat him, they're going to bring somebody else to the forefront. Next is going to be Keyshawn. Right? If he beat Keyshawn, they're going to find somebody else. I'm telling you, bro, like, it's, you know, that's how they do it. They did it with Floyd. I'm not saying Tank is Floyd, but there are many fighters that were linked to Floyd, right? And, you know, they was like, hey, man, you know, Floyd, fight him. And Floyd like, no. Because when I beat him, it's going to be somebody else. It's never going to be enough. You know what I'm saying? That's why Tank is feeling how he feeling in the sport of boxing. He like, it's always going to be somebody else. They're always going to bring somebody else to the forefront and say, fight him and beat him. He said, if I fight this dude, I beat him, then they're going to bring somebody else. Shakur don't know what that's like. You know what I'm saying? He don't know. He don't know that feeling. You know what I'm saying? He don't know that feeling to be universally just hated because you're a good fighter. You're a popular fighter. Shakur Stevenson, they like him. Shakur Stevenson got popularity because of who he's linked to. That's Terrence Crawford. We're going to keep it 1,000. Because Shakur Stevenson fighting style is not You know what I mean? It's not nothing to where even a casual fan or even a fan of boxing be like, man, you know what? Yo. It's just not. Shakur Stevenson has a fan base, but it's not that big. He has his small pond of fans. You know what I'm saying? But it's not a big fan base. You feel what I'm saying? That's real talk. And Shakur out here playing around and putting on fronts. You know what I'm saying? He playing tough. You know, because he hang with Jay Prince. He be in Fifth Ward. And, you know, he be on the outside. He playing tough. Shakur is a boxer, bro. You know what I mean? I don't think none of these boxers are gangster. And it's not to talk down, but it's just like none of these boxers are gangster. They boxers. All of them are boxers. Right? None of these dudes out here, he going on missions and hitting licks and doing none of that stuff. Right? Because if they was doing that, they wouldn't be in the ring. They'd be locked up. That's what it is. We're going to keep it 1,000. So like I said before, man, to keep it true, coming out working with Will. Shakur need tank. Cut the malarkey. Like the white boys say, cut the malarkey. Cut it out, dude. Cut the malarkey. Get your mind right. Okay? If you don't need cuz, stop talking about him. Let me know what y'all think. Let's go.